Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me? So, hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Okay. All right. So, yes, so we were studying Pythagorean theorem and we completed it. And let's start perimeter and area. Okay. Is one particular math that was left out? I will check that later. Okay. So let's
Okay.
start perimeters and areas. So perimeter is like generally a boundary. Okay. Nothing else. Perimeter for any geometric object or a geometric surface would be the boundary of it. So for instance, the circle's boundary, like this boundary would be the perimeter. Okay. For a square, the summation of all these four sides creates the boundary. That is why the perimeter for a square will be the summation of all these four sides. Okay. Now again, the perimeter of like rectangle would be the summation of four sides, and like this in for other shapes, like for triangle it will be the summation of three sides, and so on, so on. All right, now you already know these conversions, right? How to convert from millimeter to centimeter, then meter to kilometer. Do you know that? I think so. What is it
Yes.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, so now here you can see that whenever they have converted from millimeter square to centimeter square, they haven't written just like previously dividing by 10. They have divided by 10 squared. Now the question is, why is it 10 squared and not 10? Okay, it's a very interesting point. So let me give you an example of it. So say for instance, this is a rectangle. This is a rectangle. One side is of, say for instance, 10 millimeters, and the other side is say 2 millimeters. Okay, so obviously the area here would be equal to 10 millimeter multiplied by 2 millimeter, right? There is no confusion in that. So afterwards, what you might get is 20 millimeter square, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now let us change the units. Okay, so what will be 10 millimeter equal to? It will be 10 divided by 10 centimeter. Again, for 2, it will be 2 divided by 10 centimeter. Notice now that obviously I have got 2 millimeter centimeters multiplied. So I will get centimeters squared. There is no confusion in that, right?
Yes.
Now see, if I keep the previous things, I mean like the previous way, like 10 and 2. So it will be 10 multiplied by 2. Okay, let's just keep it that way. And in the denominator, I am getting 10 squared. Okay. So now I hope you are understanding why it's like 10 squared in case of area, and why is it is only 10 for a length, okay, specific length. Because area is a multiplication of lengths in two sides. Okay. So that is why these two tens are getting multiplied and getting divided. Okay, that is why it is 10 squared. Okay. And another way you could remember it is like, or understand is like the unit of the area. The unit is in square centimeters or square millimeters or square kilometers, whatever. But in case of like only lengths, it's only meter square, sorry, it's meter, kilometers, millimeters, like that. Okay, so understand why it is like 10 squared or 100 squared or 1000 squared. Understand my point?
Yes.
Right. Are you a little tired today?
A bit. It's also really rainy, so
Okay, okay. Rainy days are not good for studying, right?
they are not
Okay.
sometimes.
There's a cricket World Cup going on. Which city do you reside?
Brisbane.
Brisbane. How long is it from Melbourne?
It's a bit far away.
Far away. Okay, okay. So most of the matches are, I guess, in Melbourne. So you are not interested too much interested in cricket, but if you were, there was a match of Australia and New Zealand today. Actually, it is right now going on. So
Oh,
it's called the like Tasman War or something like that. It's a great rivalry. Okay,
cool.
whatever.
Who's
Okay,
winning?
okay, let's
Who's
go ahead.
winning?
So no, it might not be raining on Melbourne, right? As you said, it's like
Right now, Melbourne, it's after a flood, so
oh, okay, okay,
yeah, it was previously flooding there.
okay. That's not a good news.
So I'm not quite sure how, yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
it's all right. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Okay. All right. So where was I? Okay. So now perimeter and area of standard shape. So perimeter is just the addition of boundaries. So for square, it will be 4L because all the sides are same. Okay. And area is one-sided square. It's not actually a one-sided square. It's L multiplied by L or length multiplied by width. For rectangle, the area is length multiplied by width, and 2 times the length and 2 times the width added will be, uh, I mean, the perimeter of the rectangle. Okay. In case of triangle, obviously you understand that obviously the boundary would be a plus b plus c, and the area is half multiplied by base into the height. Okay. Now, in case of trapezium, sorry about that. In case of trapezium, you see, okay, perimeter is easy, right? Like the addition of 4 sides, there is nothing wrong in that. But the formula of the formula of the what can I say? The trapezium actually, the area of the trapezium is a little difficult to remember. Okay, so how could you remember it? Okay, so one thing you have to remember that there would be a height. What is the height? It's the distance between the two parallel sides. Okay, obviously you know that for trapezium there would be two sides which will be parallel to each other, and there will be two sides which are not parallel to each other. There are two sides which are parallel to each other and two sides not parallel to each other. So in that way, we will have to add the two sides which are parallel to each other and multiply the distance between them. That's it, and then divide by 2. Okay, and you could actually prove it by yourself as well. It's not that difficult. See, like if I divided it into 3 parts. Okay, all right. So tell me, say this is say say for instance, say it's L, this is M, and this is N. Okay, so now the area of this portion will be half into L into H, right?
Yes.
Area of this portion will be half into M into H. Sorry, not half into M into H, it's
No, yes, MH.
M into H. And then we also have, what do we have? Half into, say this is N into H. Okay, all right. Now notice one thing. Okay, if I I mean, take, forcefully and half here, what will I get? If I take a half forcefully here, what will I get? I will
You
have
can
to
take
take
a half
twice m,
forcefully.
right? I will have to take a twice
Yeah.
m. Okay. Now, notice another thing. Can I convert one of these m's to a? Because it's obviously equal to a. Can I do that?
Yes.
So I will write it like this. Half into a plus m into h. Now, if I take h in common, because the obviously the area is the addition of all three. Okay, addition of all these three. Okay, so then the area would be, if I take half h in common, I will get L plus A plus M plus N. Okay, so that would be half into H. Okay, so let's keep A as it is plus M plus N plus L. Okay, so all three of these together would give us B. Okay, so as you can see, we have proved the formula, which is half into H plus A plus B. You won't need this derivation, but I just showed it to you. It might help you memorizing it. Okay, so
Hmm.
yeah. All right, tell me when you're done.
I'm done.
Okay, good. So parallelogram. Okay, so in this case, perimeter would be again like a plus b plus b plus a. Okay, and as the opposite sides are equal and they are parallel. Okay, that is why they are named like parallelogram. Okay, and the area is just the base multiplied by the height. Okay, all right. Now, in case of rhombus, okay, I did not know that rhombus is also called rhombus in English. Okay, right. All right, but I knew that parallelogram is a thing. Okay, which is samantorik in Bangla. Whatever, it's a very difficult term. So in case of perimeter, see, rhombus has four sides which are equal, but the angle of all sides are not 90 degree, which is in case of squares. Okay, so the perimeter would be the addition of all sides, but in case of the area, it's half multiplied by the two diagonals. Half multiplied by the two diagonals. See, this is the one diagonal and this is the other diagonal. You will multiply these two diagonals and multiply them with half to get the area of rhombus. Okay. And obviously, you might have known by all this time that the perimeter of or the circumference of circle is 2 pi r and the area is pi r squared. So let us jump into the maths. Okay, so calculate the perimeter and area of the shape showed in the diagram. What will be the perimeter? Tell me real quick.
Numbers 39, 53.
53, right? Okay. And what will be the area? Just tell me the formula. I mean, you don't have to calculate it.
A plus B whole times H over 2.
Yes, a plus b whole times h over 2, right? What is h here?
8 centimeters.
8 centimeters. This is the height or distance between the two parallel lines. And what are the values of a and b?
14 and 20.
Okay, good. All right.
So we got 136.
Okay, so now let us continue the exercises to calculate the perimeter and area of the shape showed in the diagram. Okay, so I mean, I will go real quick because these are like cakewalk for you now by this time. So
Yes.
perimeter would be just like adding all the sides, which will be 22 plus 18 plus 22 plus 18. Okay, and as it is a parallelogram, ঠিক আছে?
Mm. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So the area would be I mean the base multiplied by the height. So that would be 18 multiplied by 20. Now calculate the circumference and area of the shape showed in the diagram. Now notice in case of circles, what I mean the mistake could be here is that we sometimes consider the diameter to be the radius. Okay, so you have to be very careful about that, because maybe I sometimes in my student life also have considered one or two times the diameter to be radius and the radius to be diameter. So what I would suggest is whenever you see a diameter, convert it to radius by 2 and like use the formulas of radius like 2 pi r or pi r square like that. Okay. So the radius here will be 8 and then you could use the formula of pi r square or 2 pi r. Okay. Calculate the perimeter and area of each of the. Okay, this one is easy. How? Tell me, how will you do this one? Let's see. Tell me, just tell me. If your procedure is correct, then I won't tell you to do this.
Adding all the sides, for these.
Yes.
Two of the sides are the same, so 22 plus 15. Yeah.
So
And then
that would give us 22 plus 22 plus 15. That would be our perimeter. Okay.
yes.
Now,
And for base times height, to find base, just use Pythagoras theorem. So look at one side of the triangle and divide 15 by 2. So we 7.5.
right.
Use Pythagoras to find the height
Good.
and then.
Okay, good, very good. Okay, you have said everything correctly. Okay, so
Yeah.
square root of 22 square minus 15 square, you will get the height. Okay, all right. Now next up, you got the perimeter and area. Okay, so perimeter and area. Okay, so do I need to calculate this portion or like this portion? Okay, whatever. I think this portion, this is just given for understanding. Okay. So the perimeter would be 7 plus 8 plus 13.83. Okay. And the area would be half multiplied by 8 multiplied by 5. Okay. This is pretty easy. Calculate the perimeter and area. Okay. So circle, it's easy. And for trapezium, okay. Notice, okay, this is an interesting one. So for this trapezium, what do we have? Okay. See, these two sides, I mean, they are equal to each other. Okay. This is x, this is also x. Okay. And so this would be 20 minus 2x, right?
Yes.
Minus 2x. Now for the perimeter, what do we need? We will need to calculate these sides, right? These sides will need to calculate. Okay. So okay, that is not actually 20, that would be 8, because obviously we can see from the diagram. So if this is 8, then what will be the values for x, right? So 8 plus x equals to 20 from the diagram. Is that correct? Tell me.
Yes.
So now 8 plus 2x will be 20 and 2x would be equal to 12. I have reduced 8 from both the sides, then x would equal to 6. Okay, x would equal to 6. Now from these two right angle triangles, I have the value of x to be 6 and the value of height to be 8. Then you will get the hypotenuse to be 10 by using the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so 6 squared plus 8 squared would be equal to 10 squared. Okay, that is how I got it will be 10. Okay, so now you have got the four sides of the trapezium, which are 10, 10, 8 and 20. So you can get the perimeter from here. Okay, and for the area, what you are going to do is half multiplied by 8 plus 20 multiplied by 8. Okay, so this is how you can do this math, right? You could be given this math in a different manner as well. Say for instance, the none of the sides are given. Okay, say for instance, this is 20, this 20 is only given, and the area of the trapezium is given, not this 8 is given. The area of the trapezium is given. So based on that, what you might have done is like use the formula for area and calculate the values for x. Okay, so you could be asked to do that one as well. Okay, so what will you do in that case? That is a question. In that case, what you will do is like say this big side is given and these are like unequal portions. So then just give you an example. So it could be like half into h is given like half into 8, and then say one side is 20 and then the other side is y, and then it is equal to say for instance 150, and based on that you might as well need to find what is the value for y, or you might as well be asked to calculate the height of the trapezium based on the information. Okay, so I hope that won't be a problem if you are good at solving equations. Remember, if you want to be very good at maths, especially algebra, okay, so it's really important that you are good at solving equations, okay? Because every math now and then will involve solving equations. All right. Now next up, correct to two decimal places, calculate the circumference and area of a circle of radius 5 centimeter, a circle of diameter. Okay, very easy. Calculate the perimeter and area of parallelogram with side lengths of 12 centimeter and 20 centimeter and a perpendicular distance of 16 centimeters between the short size. Okay, that shows what this means is, okay, let me draw it. This is let's take it a big one. Okay. So this is 22, 22, 12, 12. Okay. Now the and a perpendicular distance of 16 centimeter between the two sides. Wait, what? Calculate the perimeter with side lengths of 12 and 22. This is the perpendicular distance between these two sides, right? Oh, no, actually they're not perpendicular. Okay, so what could be perpendicular distance? Perpendicular means that like I draw something like I draw a right angle, right? Something like that. Okay, how could do 16 centimeters? It should be 22 centimeters. I think it's pretty easy, but I'm not understanding the language. 1 second. So perpendicular distance of 16 centimeters between the short sides. The short sides. How could this be if I consider this to be the perpendicular distance? It shouldn't be 16 centimeters, right? Okay. Between the short sides means these two sides and the perpendicular distance between them. It's ridiculous. I don't understand. Okay. Okay, I will check it later. But I think this is a very easy math, but there's I mean something which is not clicking into my brain right now, because it should be really easy. Like with the information given, what I understand is like from the perpendicular distance, you might as well need to like use the Pythagorean theorem or something like that and solve it. Okay, right.
Maybe saying like diagonally.
Okay, so if it's like diagonally, if it's like diagonally, okay, it won't be 16 centimeters, okay, because as you could see, okay, so for instance, for diagonally, the 22 will be increased a little bit and the 12 would be reduced a little bit, okay. So in that scenario, say for instance, okay, let us just consider even 22 square plus 12 squared square root of that, okay. Should it be 16? I don't think so. Okay, give me a second. And why would we do the math like in a guessing manner? That is also, we have to understand what it is saying, right? But still, as you are saying, let me check it. Okay, what it's saying. So that is 22 multiplied by 22 plus 12 multiplied by 12,
That would
628.
be 25.
Square root of 628, that is 25. Okay, so it's not like 16. Okay. Notice whenever you are like adding to summation of squares, the value can't get like reduced from any of the sides. Okay. Even if it is by 0.01 meters, the value would be increased from the biggest side even. Okay. As you could understand. Okay. Understand my point. All right, no worries. But I think like what it could mean is like the perpendicular distance from the shorter side, which what it means is that, if I am not wrong, so it would be something like this. Okay, say it would be something like, say for instance, if I try to draw a right angle here, if it's a right angle, that would mean that it's the height. Okay, it would be regarded as the height. So height would be 16 centimeters. Okay. So then, why they have said that? Because to consider the longer side as the base. Okay. So to consider the longer side as the base. So then the area should be equal to 16 multiplied by 22 centimeters square. Okay. And the perimeter is obviously perimeter equals to 12 plus 12 plus 22 plus 22. So that is what my understanding is based on the language of the question. Okay. So I think this should be the thing, because I don't seem to find anything difficult here. That is the first point of mine here, because this is not a difficult question. So that is what it should mean. Okay. You sort of get some instinct, right, from the from the questions. Okay. See, like the shortest distance. Yeah, it should be like that. It should be like that. Okay. Height. The distance between the distance. Okay, where was it? Okay, the permanent distance of shorter sides. Okay, however, I will still check it. Okay, so this number 6 and number 9 of the previous chapter. Okay, man, this is such an easy math. I'm sure about that. This is just like whenever we find this solve, you will like laugh at it. I'm pretty sure about that, but there's some confusion here. Okay, calculate the area of a rhombus with diagonals. Okay, very easy. Half multiplied by this diagonal multiplied by this diagonal. Calculate the area of the shaded region showed in the diagram, giving your answer corrected to 2 decimal places. Very interesting math. Okay. So for calculating the area of this region, okay, what are the things that we need? Okay, this is very important. Okay. So this is a parallelogram, right? So for a parallelogram, what we need is the base of, okay, actually it's nothing wrong enlarging it. So what was I saying? Okay, so this is our base. You could consider this to be the base. Okay, and this could be considered the height. Okay, all right. So what do we need? What we need is just the this side, actually, just this side, and everything should be done by then. Okay, so now there is some information given to calculate the value for that side. Okay, so first of all, this is the total is 5.4 meters. Okay, and this is 3 meters. So what will be the value for this? Tell me, what will be the value for this?
Value for parallelogram.
I mean, this one, this length. What will be this length?
Oh, that's a good question. That would be 0.6 plus 3 meters, 3.6, and then
No,
oh wait,
why?
no, 3 minute 5.4 minus 3.
Right. Yes, that's the easy way. Try to do everything in easy way whenever you find
Yeah.
it. This is 2.4 meters, and if you like, as you said, if you reduce that 0.6, you will get the height of this triangle, which would be 1.8 meters. Okay, so 1.8 meters. Now we have to calculate the area of that particular portion. All right, so one thing could be, if you don't do it with the, I mean, parallelogram formula. Okay, let's see. Is it? Yes, it's possible. Okay. Now, if we apply Pythagorean theorem here, if we consider this to be x, so x squared will be equal to square root of 1.8 squared plus 2.2 squared. Okay. So you will get a value here from here. Now you have got the base of this parallelogram and the height of this parallelogram. You don't need anything. Okay. Because it will be height multiplied by the base. Okay. Understand my point?
Yes.
Okay, good. So good math.
Which would be 1.14 meters squared.
Okay. Okay, that's good. You have calculated as well. Okay, because actually this is an important part of doing maths as well, like how precisely you can calculate, right? Because even if you do every procedure correctly, but you don't get the value correctly, you would be like, some numbers would be deducted, right? And it should be deducted, because in practical life, say you are very good at theorization of everything, you know all the process, but you get a wrong value. Okay, say you are constructing a bridge. Okay, you are giving a wrong value, then the whole bridge might collapse, right? Or maybe like drawing a boundary, you might like calculate the wrong value of boundary, so it might result in wastage of resources or maybe shortage of resources. So precision in calculation is really important. All right, so calculate the perimeter of the large triangle and hence find the shaded area. Calculate the perimeter of the large triangle and the shade area. Okay, so perimeter of the large triangle. Tell me, will you be able to do it? Just use the Pythagorean theorem. So that would be like 40 squared, 40 squared minus 32 squared, square root of that, and then you will get this side. Okay, you will get this side. Okay, and wow, hence find the shaded area. So for the shaded area, as you can understand, that it would be a trapezium. So you will also need to calculate the value for this, which is like 10 squared. Actually, you don't need. No, actually you need. Okay, yes. 10 squared minus 8 squared. So you will get another box from here. So then say this is x and this is y. Okay. So it will be half multiplied by x plus y multiplied by h. What will be the value for h? Tell me. I have showed you the value for x and y. What will be the value for h? Tell me. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah,
What will be the
x would be
value for?
24.
Yes, it will be 24. Yes. Okay. All right. So very easy. A circle has an area of 3140 centimeters square. Determine the radius. Okay. So what you are going to do is, again, just like solving equations. Pi r squared will be equal to 3140. Divide both the sides by pi. Okay. And then square root it. Okay. And then square root it. So you will get the value. Okay. Please let me know if you don't understand anything. Like, it's not necessary that every easy thing has to be like done very quickly, because some easy things need good understanding as well. Okay. I am going fast. I mean, thinking that you are understanding everything very quick. Okay. All right. A rectangle side has a side length that is twice as long as its width. If it has an area of 968 centimeters square, determine the length of its diagonal. Okay. Let's test you. Okay. Try this one. Okay. The area is given, and it is given that the length is twice of the width. Okay, you have to calculate the diagonal. Let's see. Not that much difficult. These sort of questions could be there in the exam as well, right? And let me give you another link as well. Just while doing the math, just join in the link.
Okay.
Okay, take note of the data first. Like the area is 968 meters square, and the length is twice of the width.
Determine the length of its diagonal. Okay.
No, yes, length of the diagonal. I won't give you any hint. You will see it's really easy. No worries.
Yeah.
And I'm there if you find any. If